Hey seniors, Miss Murphy here. I just wanted to walk you through in case you missed any application training this fall. I wanted to go over how everything looks in the Common App as you add your counselor, your teacher, and as you process the FERPA, the privacy release. So as you can see, I'm in a newly created account. My dashboard is welcoming me. My name is Wildcat, just in case you're wondering about the name. And the first thing I'm going to do when I start the account is go to Common App, which again, the central Common App is the information that every school you apply to using this portal will have access to this information. So this is the centralized part of the Common App that goes to every school you apply to using this platform. So the first thing I'm going to do in this process is add my high school, Libertyville High School. It pops right up. It seems to know right where we are. And that's all I have to do to get to FERPA and adding a counselor, which is again my focus for this video. So I'm going to click continue and I can come back later and finish the education section. But after clicking adding my school to education, I'm going to go back to my colleges. I do not have any colleges saved to this tab yet, so I am going to save a school. I want schools in Chicago, so I am going to go ahead and add University of Illinois, Chicago. That is now, when I go back to my colleges, that is now on my college list. So I'll be able to see more information about what the University of Illinois Chicago wants in an application, when their deadlines are, lots and lots of information. And I also see that like every school I add to my portal, I'm going to have questions to answer, a recommender and FERPA section. And this is where you will, or I will, review and submit each specific college application. So you cannot review and submit without being in this My Colleges tab and processing the college specific questions, etc. So for today's quick training, I wanted to make sure you know how to complete the FERPA process and add recommenders. So we're going to click on recommenders and FERPA. Again, you can pick any of the schools under your My Colleges tab. And we're going to check complete release authorization. As you can see, the FERPA stands for Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. So this is basically you deciding if you are going to release your rights to see materials that counselors and teachers, coaches, etc., send on your behalf, or if you do not want to release those rights. 99.9% of students do waive the rights. And I want to explain quickly that even if you do not waive your rights, the soonest that you could have access to any letter or document that's submitted on your behalf is in the fall of the year that you matriculate or start on that college campus. So there's no way in this process that this allowing the privacy rights to be released or not is going to allow you to see the letters supported. So again, overall, LHS recommends that you do waive those rights. You're going to be asking people for letters of support that support you, that you trust, etc. So that is the most common process. So again, you're going to read all the way through. What is FERPA? How does FERPA work? You're going to read this page. I have read and understood the FERPA release. Click continue. I acknowledge that my records are going to schools I select. I waive my right to review, or I do not waive my right to review. Again, if you do not waive, the soonest you could ask to see forms shared on your behalf would be next fall in the records office of the school that you do decide to attend. And then you're also going to check, I understand that my waiver pertains to all colleges, etc. You're going to sign this just like your name. We're going to date it. We're going to save that. And I have now done my FERPA release authorization. I want to show you quickly that if I add another college, I'm also interested in the state of New Mexico. So let's see. We're going to add the University of New Mexico. That has been added to my colleges. And when I go in there and click on recommenders and FERPA, it's also done. So you do not have to do this more than one time, which is really nice. Same for this next step of inviting recommenders, counselors, etc. So we want to make sure we invite our counselor. I am going to add Miss Murphy. You will not do this. You will be adding the counselor in your LST. So your LST counselor's email address goes in this space, not your name, not my name. It is your LST counselor. Prefix is not required. And then you're going to put in their first and last name. You want to make sure you spell everything correctly. So if you need to check the website or check in with them on spelling, do that. I am going to invite them. And now I can see that Miss Murphy was invited, she has not started my school report, which will include your transcript, and she has not started my counselor rec yet, depending on whether or not that is required. So you can see from this page, the University of New Mexico does not accept teacher recommendations. So we don't have to worry about teachers here. But again, if we go into University of Illinois at Chicago, I'm shifting colleges again, and I click on recommenders and FERPA, my FERPA is done. And because I added the counselor through the other college, it's also done for this school. So that's a one and done. Now this one allows up to 4 teachers. We're not going to add 4 teachers, but this is where you would invite a teacher, same thing as the counselor, teacher email address, teacher subject, prefix is not required, first name, last name spelled correctly. Yes, I want this teacher to be included in my University of Illinois Chicago application, invite, and then they show up. Once you've invited a teacher to one school, they will then show up as a drop-down option for your other schools, and you will assign them to that. So you only have to add the email, personal info, name one time for a teacher, and then you will be responsible or in charge of assigning that teacher to the schools that you want that letter to go to. And the teacher only uploads their letter one time. So it's a very simplified process. Okay, so Common App. We're in here, brand new account. You're going to work through this Common App section. You're going to end up with a check mark next to completed sections that helps keep you in line and keep you organized. So you're working towards check marks in each of these sections. You are then shifting over to My Colleges before your apps are turned in to make sure you've answered all of the school specific questions and earned the check marks that they require to have a complete application. You are making sure that your FERPA's done, your counselors added, teachers added if required, additional info, and then you will click review and submit for that specific school. This will eventually, if I had all of these sections done, it would allow me a PDF view of my application for UIC. You want to review that PDF closely. Make sure it looks the way you want it to go, because you cannot go back once you've submitted, and you want to make sure that the material you're sending to each specific school is exactly what you want that school to have. All right, that's my spiel on the quick FERPA recommender process, adding schools, etc. I look forward to working with you this year, and I'm already so proud of your progress.